What's going on? It's Astronaut H, and this is the What More Do You Want Network. Now, this video is a continuation of the series of videos I've been posting recently, and that's just asking how many games is this NBA team going to win. And in this video, I want to talk about the Charlotte Hornets. The Hornets are one of the better, exciting, NBA teams with exciting players, none other than being LaMelo Ball, guys like, Terry Rozier, guys like Miles Bridges, PJ Washington. They have a core of young talent who's exciting to watch. And of course, like I said, LaMelo Ball is probably out of the group of the guy's not even 22 years old, but out of the younger generation, the newer class of NBA players, he's one of the stars of stars. If the Hornets are playing, I'm tuning in without question. That's neither here nor there. If they are playing, I'm watching because I just want to see what he's going to do. I put him in that category with the Lucas as far as like excitement, the John Morants, guys like that, like when Zion's playing, when healthy, it's guys like that. It's like Steph, Giannis. Is when those type of guys are playing, you have to see it. It's must see TV. But I'm not going to speak on LaMelo individually a little too much right now, but I just want to talk about the Hornets as a team. As we all know, Michael Jordan is the owner of the Hornets, and it just seems like they can't get over the hump. And by the hump, I mean whether it's bad draft picks, bad free agency moves. I'm not going to say Gordon Hayward was a bad free agency move. It's just the simple fact that he hasn't been playing because he hasn't been healthy. We all remember that nasty injury he had when he was up in Boston. And since being with the Hornets and signing on, he just hasn't been able to be consistently on the floor. But that's not to discredit the type of player we know Gordon Hayward could be. He's been an all-star. So can he return to form? That will only be yet to be seen. Now, the Hornets also have done a coaching change. And they, of course, we all know James Borrego is not there anymore. Now, with Borrego, over the last 4 seasons, they haven't made the playoffs at all. But they went from a 39-win team when he first got there in 2018 to a 23-win team to a 33-win team to a 43-win team. So, was that cause for them to move on from him as a coach? I'm not going to say yes or no, but sometimes with the NBA, mainly, sometimes guys tend to tune coaches out, especially, the star players, especially guys that want to do their own thing on the court and, not tend to do what the coach drawed up in the timeout, i.e. like Willie Beeman or something like that from Any Given Sunday. I don't know if you guys know who that is, but that's a movie reference. But I think, with the Hornets, and maybe it was a time for a cause for a change. But in that change, they dialed back and went back to Steve Clifford, which, when he was the coach, that was the last time they actually made the playoffs, which, ultimately is like, maybe we need to return to that. But again, in the NBA, the coaching carousel is not as big as people think it is. You always hear the same names. You always hear, why doesn't this guy have a job? Why doesn't Mark Jackson? Or you could, like a plethora of coaches always get their names thrown out in the mix of the coaching carousel in the NBA. So for the Hornets to go back and go with Coach Clifford, it just shows me that MJ likes his guys, right? Because I feel like that's more of a Jordan move than anything. I could be wrong, but again, the Hornets have a young nucleus, especially a 1-2 punch with Bridges, with Ball. Terry Rozier can definitely get a flamethrower going. James, I think Book Knight should be playing with the big club. I think he should be with the team. They also have LaMelo's brother, LiAngelo Ball, down with the G League team with the Swarm. So, I mean, if you want to add more excitement to your team and more of the youth movement, why not? Why not? Why not go with who you already have and just try to build around that? But also, you are in the East. This is the second part of what I want to talk about with the Hornets. You're in the East. The East is going to be super competitive this year. Could I see the Hornets winning 4, maybe 5 more games? And, from being a 43-win team to about a 47, 48-win team and scoot in to the play-in? Because I think the top of the food chain in the East is going to be pretty much like going at it like dogs this year. I think it's going to be room for those lower seeded teams, the 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10 to basically battle it out. And I think that's where the Hornets could come in at and be right there, be literally, instead of on the cusp of the play-in and playing in that tournament, they'll actually be able to make the playoffs. Maybe a 8, maybe being a 7 or 6. We will see. Maybe being a 7 or a 6. But again, you're a 7 seed. You gotta face a 2 seed. You gotta face a 2 seed. If you're an 8 seed, you gotta face the 1, and that's gonna be to an inexperienced team. Let's just say, for the sake of the argument, the Hornets play the Bucks in like the first round. Like that's going to be a tall task, asking certain guys to be able to have a handle on Giannis. But this is just me speaking, hypothetically. We don't know if that's actually going to happen. The Hornets could be a 3 seed, a 4 seed. Who knows? I could be wrong. This could be the year that they take the leap as a collective unit, and you see the youth movement for the Hornets, and that pushes them above and beyond the expectations that most people probably have for them. I think LaMelo Ball will be an all-star this year for sure. The fans will vote him in because it's just he's a part of that. Like I said, he's a part of that youth movement with the Zions, the Ja Morants, himself, the Lukas, the Trays, like the guys like that. That's a part of the NBA's youth movement going forward. So the Devin Bookers, and I keep forgetting that Devin Booker is as young as he is. But I will say that I believe that LaMelo Ball will be an all-star again this year. I think the Hornets have what it takes to win 4 to 5 more games than they did a year ago. I think 6, 7, maybe 8 seed, but they will have to be in a play-in tournament. And maybe this year they can get up out of that and rise above and show improve. And show that they have of course they have the face of the franchise. But to go with the face of the franchise, you need that second tier player. We all thought, well, me as an NBA fan, I thought it was going to be Gordon Hayward. But turns out Miles Bridges is probably the most consistent player on their roster right now. Terry Rozier is definitely a good piece to have. I like PJ Washington a lot. I liked him in college. James Bouknight to go with. I think they will call up Jello. This upcoming season, I think Jello will eventually be on the roster, be on the Hornets official roster this year. Time will tell. We'll see if they make any moves. I wouldn't be surprised. I can't forget Kelly Oubre. I cannot forget Kelly Oubre. We know what he's capable of, and he could be a starter. He could be a starter in this in the league. But he comes off the bench and he gives them that, you know, that Jordan Clarkson style offense punch. You know, that Jamal Crawford, that I could come in, I embrace my role, I get 20. You know, I can hit a few threes, I can impact the game, and you need guys like that. So I think the Hornets have an opportunity to win potentially at least 4 or 5 more games. So that will put them at about 47, 48 wins. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Do you guys think that the Hornets will win less or more games than they did a year ago? Do you guys see them making a push for the playoffs or competing in the Eastern Conference? Let me know what you guys think. As always, I appreciate everyone for tuning in. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you can know anytime a video is being uploaded to this channel. It's Astronaut H. This is the What More Do You Want Network, and I'll catch you guys on the next video.